Andriy Shevchenko was Ukraine's ambassador to Canada from 2015 until last August. He joins me this evening from the Ukrainian city of Lviv. Mr. Shevchenko, first of all, thank you so much for taking time to speak with me tonight, and I'm glad to see you. I'm sorry it's under these circumstances, but I hope all goes well for you. What can you tell us about what is happening on the ground in Ukraine right now, and in particular in your city of Lviv?
Well, I think there is no safe place in Ukraine right now because every city goes through airstrike sirens and airstrikes themselves, including the city of Lviv where I am right now. But moreover, I think even if you are 50 kilometers away on the other side of the Polish border, you don't feel much safer because you know that those missiles, they can easily hit you on the other side of the border. So it's almost 1 month of the invasion. And this means that we have to find a lot of strength and resources to continue. But this nation is very determined to win in this war.
What do you believe Russia's strategy is now, as you say, as the war enters its second month?
I think they are beginning to realize that they are not going to get much success on the ground. And it's going to be extremely difficult for them to capture the major Ukrainian cities as they planned to. So what they're trying to do is they have switched to basically terrorism when they keep attacking major residential areas and civilian infrastructure with airstrikes. And their idea is to break our will. I think it's not going to work that way. But I think the world cannot just watch this either.
Let's talk about that. We are on the eve of the emergency NATO leaders meeting on Thursday in Brussels. What do you hope to hear from NATO leaders at the summit?
We hope to hear a very clear response what the strongest military defense alliance on the planet is going to do with something that is already seen like beginning of the global war. And the previous responses we had from NATO were not too convincing. You cannot deter Russia with weakness. You can only deter Russia with very strong and with very practical and rational response. And we are begging the world to help us and close Ukrainian skies for humanitarian reasons.
That seems like an unlikely outcome, though, of that meeting. As you know, NATO leaders have repeatedly said, we'll do more sanctions, more weapons, more equipment to help defend against the possible use of chemical weapons. But so far, no fly zone and no direct engagement with Russian forces because they don't want to trigger a wider war. What's your message to them?
Well, Peter, I believe we will see that position changed at some moment, and we need that flexibility. We are talking about no-fly zone or no-fly corridors for humanitarian purposes, and just before this conversation, I read a very impressive piece by General Breedlove, who used to be NATO Supreme Allied Commander,
right.
And this article is called very clearly, deterred by Putin. U.S. should not be deterred by Putin. They should send aircraft to Ukraine, and they should help Ukrainians to close the sky. I think this is the message which we would like to bring to our friends and allies in NATO.
Do you think it's inevitable that NATO will be drawn into the conflict, and how do you think Russia will make that happen?
I hate to say this, but I think the sign is on the wall, and I think the whole analysis of the situation shows that we are heading in the direction of the direct clash between Russia and NATO. That's the way Putin sees his war against Ukraine. He's not fighting against Ukraine. He believes he's already fighting NATO. He's already fighting the free world. And the sooner we understand that, the better we coordinate, the sooner we'll put an end to this. It's no time for half measures.
As you know, Canada has the largest Ukrainian community because you served here at the embassy outside Ukraine and Russia. You were the ambassador to this country. What's your opinion of how Canada has responded to help Ukraine?
Support has been very impressive. Some decisions, we wanted to see some decisions coming earlier. That includes Canadian decision to provide Ukraine with the weapons we need. As of the moment, I think we have very important flow of goods and weapons from Canada to Ukraine. But there is another thing that Canada might do or should do. Canada has a very good understanding of what Ukraine is going through because of the diaspora and because of Operation Unifier. You have been training our military from 2015. So when there is a conversation about Ukraine in Brussels or in any other NATO meeting, we want Canada to be very vocal about us. We want Canada to be very convincing. We want Canada to be a leader or the leader in this situation.
All right. Andriy Shevchenko, former Ukrainian ambassador to Canada. Wish you all the best, sir, and thanks for your time tonight.
My pleasure. Thank you, Peter.